All right, welcome back to the channel. So, pop goes the weasel on some of the accusations around Ryan Garcia, who gets cleared of a major accusation related to the use of PEDs, and Devin Haney fans' stomach, Adam's apple drops to the bottom of their stomach over this one. Now, as we know, Ryan Garcia was accused of using performance enhancements for the purposes of cheating once his blood and his urine sample came up positive for some substances. Well, we've got an update now. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Ryan Garcia is sounding mighty confident about these accusations around him cheating in the fight with Devin Haney. And some news comes out from the same sources that broke the original news, that's Dan Rayfield. And it's good news for Ryan Garcia. Before I get into the details, and I'm telling you, I'm going to get into the details. And I got a specific comment from somebody on my last video that I did where I told you guys about Ryan Garcia and the myth that his B sample had tested positive, that I said a lot of nothing. No, I did not say a lot of nothing. First of all, it's not possible. But second of all, I'm getting into the details so that you can understand what is going on. I'm fairly decent in explaining and making simple some complex concepts, of which this is. So you're going to have to listen to some numbers and some names that you may not want to hear, but still you got to understand it because there's people throwing Ryan Garcia under the bus without understanding what is going on. And this particular update is critical because people were saying that Ryan Garcia had popped for 2 substances. Well, we can now ball that up and throw it out the window. We're down to 1. And Ryan Garcia said something that makes me believe that we may be down to none pretty soon. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really makes a big difference to the channel. Let's get into this. And shout out to everybody, the people that supporting that. Super thanks. Thank you. But let's get into this. Okay, so Dan Rayfield reported that that there was 2 performance enhancement drugs that showed up in a test for Ryan Garcia. One of the substances is called ostarine. The second, if you give me 1 second, I am going to pull it up. The other substance is called, because it's not nandrolone. People were calling it nandrolone, but it wasn't actually nandrolone. It is called, oh man, having a hard time finding it. Let's just call it nandrolone. But it is actually something 19 nandrophosphorosis or something, real long name. That was the second one that was in there. And they just did a test and they said that they were unable to confirm its presence. So originally it was said that Ryan Garcia had it, they had detected it on the test that was given, the urine test that was given to Ryan Garcia on April 19th, which is the day before the fight. So It said it was detected it, but it was not confirmed yet because they needed to do an IRMS test. Well, they did the IRMS test and they were unable to confirm its presence when they actually did a deeper analysis of it, which means that one is now gone. So we no longer have to say that wasn't his sample contaminated with two substances? The answer to that is affirmatively no. There was only ostarine. Now, as far as the ostarine goes, Ryan Garcia said that the amount in his system is very low. So what does that mean? That means we know exactly how much they detected. So if it is very low, ostarine, and this has happened in MMA, this has happened to boxers in Europe, where they found that ostarine is in supplements, but not labeled as such in certain health supplements. So they are now going to move forward more than like after. Oh, and also he said, let's test this B sample. Brought up bringing the B sample, exercise their right to have the B sample tested. So that is going to be tested, and we'll see whether or not in the B sample that there is still the ostarine. Now, even if it is still in the sample, because, percentage wise, it most likely is. At least that's what they say, unless, of course, it's not. But let's just say that it is. Then they're going to go and say, hey, this is begin to prove or put evidence forward that it was in the system that is because of a supplement that he took. Now, Victor Conti, who is with Snack, and makes a lot of comments about performance enhancements in testing in boxing, which I have to tell you, man, if you're in Snack, man, maybe you should just stick with Snack and stop talking so much about this stuff. It's a bad look all the way around. Just a bad look to be talking about it. Said that it's a 4 to 5 week process now where Ryan Garcia's experts are going to go through the retesting of that B sample step by step by step by step. And they are going to look at everybody that touched it, everywhere that vial's been. They're going to go through the entire chain of custody. They're going to watch every bit of the testing, and that could take 4 to 5 weeks. So we're about a month, maybe as much as 2 months out from knowing anything about that B sample. And then from there, you're probably going to have to move into a argument about the supplements. So it's going to be a while before we know. However, it's looking with this particular thing disappearing from the test upon deeper analysis. Man, it is looking. That's a big win for Ryan Garcia's team to have that put aside. And now, if you can put that one aside, I would not doubt that something happens with the second one too, which is very, very unfortunate. Because, Ryan Garcia is going to be labeled as a drug cheat no matter what. If it winds up that it was absolutely make believe, he's still going to get labeled as a drug cheat because the information was made so public. But at the same time, it is what it is. Better safe than sorry. That probably is a good thing for boxing in general, because at least even if you have anything in your substance, any substance in your system, you are going to be put in a position of having to defend yourself, which could be preventative for other people using it. But at the end of the day, look, it's going to be what it is. I said, look, man, I'm not rushing to judgment on Ryan Garcia because, first of all, the whole thing didn't smell right to me. And I'm just going off my gut feeling. It didn't smell right. It doesn't smell right for me. Just doesn't smell right. But on top of it, you have the process that you go through, and then we'll find out what happens. And if I was considerate enough to do it for Alyssa Bumgardner, I'm going to do it for Ryan Garcia. I'm going to do it for Ryan Garcia. There's some people say, well, what happened with Dillian White? Look, Dillian White, nobody told Oscar Rivas about it. And they allowed Oscar Rivas, before Oscar Rivas had any ability to talk about it, know what's going on or anything, Oscar Rivas was put in the ring with a guy that popped dirty, and they didn't go through any type of exhaustive explanation. They just said, oh, just get rid of it. No, well, yeah, you give us an explanation. That's fine. Get into the fight, which is a completely different scenario than the detail that they're going through with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia's situation. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.